Hi, I'm Steve Mackay from Engineering Institute of Technology. I just want to spend a few minutes talking about troubleshooting PLCs or programmable logic controllers. I've been involved with PLCs for about 30 years and learned a few tricks. Obviously technology changes all the time, so some of the tricks I've learned perhaps don't always apply today, but just a few little points I'd like to make in this short video. First thing is, with a programmable logic controller, it's like an industrial computer. There are really obviously two types of faults. You can group them, internal and external. And there's another third one, which is data communications, which I'll talk about at the end. Probably about 80% of the faults will lie with external problems. So, that's where you need to look most of the time. But just to quickly look at internal faults, some potential areas of internal faults are things like earthing or grounding to your chassis hasn't been done properly, and that has to be done firmly and effectively. I've done that, had many problems with that on occasion, so really important to look at that. Obviously the power supplies to your PLC and the racks need to be continuously operative, hot, cold, whatever, all the time. Batteries, any batteries need to be checked that they're effective all the time, they haven't run out. EMC, electromagnetic compatibility, electromagnetic interference problems need to be looked for. Those are intermittent, very difficult to trace, but they can be a cause of a lot of angst. And obviously, very unusual today, but corrupted programs and need to be looked for. Very unlikely it'll happen today because of the firmware normally eliminates any hint of that potential problem. And obviously, if you're looking for anything else internally, your internal diagnostics of the PLC is normally very good. Now, looking at the external part of the PLC, which is probably 80% of where your problems come from, let's just take your digital inputs of your cards. Obviously, check the power supply, the power, fuses haven't blown or the breaker hasn't gone. You've got voltage continuously to your inputs. There's no hint of a problem there, and there's a few little subtle problems sometimes. Leakage currents. In other words, you think your input is off, but it's actually on, because there's enough leakage current coming in to actually bias the input to be on when it's actually off. Sounds a bit confusing, but leakage currents are sometimes a problem, rather obscure, so I won't spend too much time on that. Obviously, digital outputs, the converse, and analog inputs, analog outputs, also are areas to look for on your cards. Analog inputs were a problem for me with a very subtle problem with aliasing caused by a lot of harmonics coming through my analog inputs. Again, eliminated by filtering, and those are the sort of issues you need to look for. And finally, all PLCs, as my mum used to say, no one's an island. We're all connected in some way, so all PLCs are connected up. So data communication links are always important to look for, and obviously you need to make sure that the screening is done properly, and most of the time, if at all possible, try and use fiber optics. So that's all from me, just a few suggestions on troubleshooting your programmable logic controller. Thank you very much. Steve Mackay from Engineering Institute of Technology. Thank you.